beautiful people, lovers of African football and lovers of football in general. Welcome to the channel once again, African Football Fan TV. We will talk all things African football, from the national team side to club side, players playing abroad and the ones playing locally. And on this weekend review show, we'll have a lot to talk about. The CAF Champions League semi-final and the CAF Confederations Cup semi-final will be played this weekend on the 7th and on the 8th precisely. And we have news from the Nigerian Premier League, news from the South African Premier League, and also news regarding African players, how they did in the top 5 leagues abroad. And before I go on to today's program fully, I'd like to thank you guys for subscribing to this channel and for your like, for your comment, for your suggestion. I really do appreciate them, because without them I don't think I'll be here doing another video. And for those of you who haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell to keep you up to date with content of this channel. And without wasting much of your time, we go into today's video proper. First up is the Uganda Premier League, where we saw this weekend Viper Sports Club winning the league for the 5th time in their history. On Friday, Viper Club defeated Express Club by 3-0 to clinch the title for the 5th time in their history. Although they still have 4 matches remaining in the Uganda League, but as it stands, they are 14 points ahead of second place KCCA. So that make them to win the league, and they have been crowned champion of this season's Uganda Premier League. And we move on to South Africa. Where we saw this weekend Mamelodi Sundowns winning the league for the 5th consecutive time. Wow. Giving them a total of 12 Super Disc key titles, becoming the first team to actually do that. And we say congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. And also the quest for the quest for a treble season is still on, as they are currently fighting to win the remaining 2 titles that they can win. And we move on now to the other side of the league, where we see Kaizer Chiefs languishing beyond the qualification for continental football. They lost for the 4th consecutive time. Yes, they lost for the 4th consecutive time, and their hopes of qualifying for continental football is actually on thin ice right now. And if they have to qualify for continental football again, they have to start winning, and start winning now. And now we move on to Burkina Faso. Yeah, the matches are just remaining 3 currently, just 3 matches remaining, and 2 points separate the 4 teams. The first 4 teams, just 2 points separate them. Kandiogo, Eto Folanti, Majestic, and ASFA Yenega, they are all the 1st and 4th team in the league, where we see just 2 points separating these 4 teams. And over the weekend, Kandiogo returned to winning ways, and we saw them move joint top with ASFA Yenega on 44 points in that league, while Eto Folanti and Majestic sits 3rd and 4th respectively. This league is actually boiling up, and we really do not know who's going to win the league. On this day you see Kandiogo on top, the next week you see Eto Folanti, the next week you see Majestic. So we're just keeping our finger crossed. I'm going to keep you up to date as it goes on the league, and who's going to win the league, we'll say a very big congratulations to them on this channel on the day they are going to be crowned champion of the Burkina Faso League. And we move now to the Nigerian Premier League. Yes, in the Nigerian Premier League, we saw this week top of the table Rivers United we are defeated by Kwara United by 1-0. Rivers United have been top of the league for the past weeks now, and they lost their last match to Kwara United by 1-0. And second on the table, Plateau United also lost to Dagada by 1 goal to nothing also, and both sit on the top of the table and second respectively. And elsewhere, we saw this weekend MFN versus Rangers of Enugu played out a goalless draw, but the match was marred by fans riot again after the referee blew the final whistle. The MFM fans attacked the officials after the match, and I can tell you it's not really a good sight for the Nigerian Premier League, and things like this shouldn't be happening. And so we hope the league is going to take actions like they did against Kano Pillars when they deducted 3 points for them and fined them 9 million naira. And I can also confirm to you that the Kano government has actually bought the bus for the Castina team that was destroyed during that riot that happened, where the fans entered into the pitch and beat some of the players and destroyed the team bus of Castina United. And reporting Kano Pillars also lost again this week as they were defeated and they languished in the relegation place currently, and we don't know if they are going to qualify, or we don't know if they are going to escape relegation this season. But keeping our fingers crossed, we're going to give you details as it goes on the Nigerian Premier League. And we move on to other African news, where we saw this weekend the draw for the 14th edition of the African Women Nations Cup, which is Wafcon. It's actually a 14th edition, will be hosted by Morocco. 12 teams qualified to the tournament proper, and the group draw were made in Morocco, who are the host country. So in Group A, we have Burkina Faso. We have Morocco, which is the host country, Burkina Faso, Senegal, and Uganda. And in Group B, we have Cameroon, Zambia, Tunisia, and Togo. While in Group C, we see defending champion and 11 times winner Nigeria will be facing off with South Africa, Burundi, and Botswana. Nigeria has actually won the tournament 11 times, and they hold the record for the most win. They will be facing off against arch rivals, the Bayana of South Africa, who has actually gone to the final 4 times in their history. So keeping our fingers crossed, we're going to give you news as it goes on the Wafcon, and we're going to cover the Wafcon from the group stage and we move on to other news, where we saw FIFA fining Nigeria the sum of 450,000 Swiss francs. Yes, Nigeria has been fined, and they're going to play one match behind closed doors. This is as a result of the fans riot during the match between Nigeria and Ghana in the Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers, which was held in Abuja. Yes, that match ended in a 1-1 draw. We saw Nigeria being eliminated from the World Cup that will be hosted in Qatar this year. So Nigeria will be playing their next match behind closed door, which is the match between Sierra Leone and the African Cup of Nations qualifier. They will be playing that match behind closed doors. And we hope things like this do not happen again, where fans are going to come into the stadium to destroy things and try to cause mayhem. It's not actually good for the African football and the reputation. So Nigeria, you have to keep your house in order and see that things like this do not repeat itself. And we actually commend FIFA for stepping up on this matter and finding Nigeria and giving them a strict warning. Hopefully this does not repeat itself in the continental football again. And now we move on to the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation preview, where a lot of matches will be played this weekend, which is on the 7th and on the 8th respectively. The semi-final first leg of the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup will be played this weekend. And we're actually going to leave a video clip on the preview of these matches, and I'll be right back. have it, guys. The matches will be played on the 7th. The CAF Champions League will be played on the 7th of this month, which is on Saturday, and the CAF Confederations Cup will be played on Sunday, on the 8th of May 2022. So without wasting much of your time, we move on now to global stage, where we saw a lot of African players on the score sheet this week in the various clubs, and we move on to this German Bundesliga, where no African player was on the score sheet this week. So poor. So keeping our fingers crossed. Hopefully next week other African players are going to do well in the Bundesliga. And we move now to the French Ligue 1, where this weekend we saw Strasbourg versus Paris Saint-Germain played at a 3-3 draw. And the 3-3 draw, our own Moroccan international, one of my favorite players, Achraf Hakimi, was on the score sheet for Paris Saint-Germain. They played at a 3-3 draw in that match. And the other match was between Lens and Nets. That match ended in a 2-2 draw. Actually, Moses Simon of Nigeria actually gave them a 2-0 lead, and they thought they were going to win the match, but Lens came from behind to draw that match, and the match ended in a 2-2 draw. But Moses Simon, the Nigerian international, actually scored 2 goals in that match. And the other match is between Marseille versus Lyon. That match ended in a 3-0 thrashing for Marseille, losing at home to Lyon. Marseille actually have their eyes on the continental stage, where they'll be playing their second leg semi-final of the Europa Conference League this week. So I think their attention is based there, because they lost the first leg by 3-2 against Feyenoord. So they lost now in the league to Lyon by 3-0, where we saw our own Cameroon international Toko Ekembe scoring again. This man has been on fire for the past 5 weeks. I think he has been on the score sheet, constantly scoring for Lyon. He's one of my favorite players also in the Cameroon national team. Remember, he was the one that scored that goal that saw Cameroon qualify for the World Cup, and well done and kudos to Toko Ekembe. And the next match we'll be talking is the match between Bordeaux and Nice. Bordeaux and Nice ended in a 1-0 win for Nice, winning away to Bordeaux, and our own Algerian international and did the lot, scoring the only goal in the match to give them a priceless 3 points in that match. And the next match also is a match between Montpellier versus Metz, which ended in a 2-2 draw. But we saw our own the Central African Republic international, who plays for Metz, Louis Mofata, scoring in that match, which ended in a 2-2 draw between Montpellier and the match we were talking about is the match between Lorient and Reims. That match ended in a 2-1 win for Reims. Terim Ofer, who didn't play the last round of matches, came back to the starting 11 to equalize in the match, and El Babi Traore was also on the score sheet for Reims as they ran away with the 3 points to the 2-1 win away from home to Lorient. And the last match from the French Ligue 1 we'll be talking about is a match between Brest and Clermont. Brest and Clermont ended in a 2-0 win for Brest. Just winning that match by 2-0, where we saw our own Benin international Stephen Mohani scoring in that match to give them a priceless 3 points. A lot of African players was on the score sheet this week in the French Ligue 1, and it's actually good for the reputation of African football, and African players doing well. It's a good sign for Africa as we seek to win the World Cup in Qatar this year. And we move now to this Italian Serie A, where this week we saw Napoli thrashing Sassuolo by 6-1. Napoli, who are trying to win the league, and I don't think they are going to win the league anymore, because Inter Milan and AC Milan are far ahead of them with just few matches remaining. But they are trying to see if they can qualify for the Champions League, and hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, they can qualify for that. Because we have our own Senegalese international Koulibaly, who plays for Napoli. He actually opened the scoring in that match and before our own Victor Osimhen of Nigerian also was on the score sheet as they ran away with a 6-1 win in that match against Swasolo. Koulibaly of Senegal and Victor Osimhen was on the score sheet this week for Napoli as the only two African players to score this week in the Italian Serie A. And we move on to the Spanish La Liga, where we saw this weekend the match between Sevilla and Cadiz ended in a 1-1 draw. Sevilla actually trying to keeping their hopes of qualifying for Champions League, UEFA Champions League football next season. And also our owner, Moroccan international Yusuf El Nasri, scoring that in that game for Sevilla to give them a priceless 1 point and keep the aspiration for European football alive. And elsewhere, the match between Alaves and Villarreal ended in a 2-1 win for Alaves. But Samuel Chukwueze, the Nigerian international who plays for Villarreal, was on the score sheet for Villarreal as they lost that match by 2-1. And we move now to the English Premier League. The English Premier League this week, we saw Newcastle United versus Liverpool. Liverpool trying to win a quadruple, becoming the first team to do that, and they won by 1-0, and the goal of the match was scored by Naby Keita. Naby Keita, the Ghanaian international who plays for Liverpool, was on the score sheet and actually had one of his best matches in the Liverpool shirt I've seen in a very long time, and he was on the score sheet to score a very beautiful goal to give them 3 points and keep up the pressure against Manchester City at the top of the league. Elsewhere, Southampton and Crystal Palace ended in a 2-1 win for Crystal Palace away from home, with Fred Zaha coming from the bench to score the winning goal in the 91st minute of the match to give them a priceless 2-1 win at Southampton. Wilfred Zaha, one of the most important players. He's the most important player in the Crystal Palace side, who is coached by Patrick Vieira, the French international, former captain and player. He's actually the coach of Crystal Palace, and he actually said this week that Wilfred Zaha in the team is much better for them. They have much chances of winning match with Wilfred Zaha in the team, and you can see his importance in the Crystal Palace team. When he came on, it changed the match totally, and they ran out to a 2-1 win, and he's scoring the winning goal in the 91st minute of the match to give Crystal Palace a 3-point win at the St. Mary's Stadium in Southampton. And elsewhere in the English Premier League was a match between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Brighton. Wolverhampton Wanderers, who were gunning for the top 4 spot, actually out of the race already, and this week we saw Brighton continue their impressive away form by defeating Wolverhampton Wanderers by 3-0, and in that match we saw our own Bosuma, who plays for Brighton, scoring the 3rd goal in that match to give them a 3-0 win in that match against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And the last match from the English Premier League was a match between Tottenham Hotspur versus Leicester City. Tottenham also won that match by 3-1. Tottenham actually going for the top 4 spot with Arsenal, and they won that match by 3-1. And the consolation goal for Leicester City was scored by our own Nigerian international Kelechi Iheanacho. Kelechi Iheanacho was on the score sheet, and this week they will be playing the second leg of their European Conference League. I think the attention has actually shifted from the Premier League to the Conference League, where they are playing their second leg semi-final this Thursday. So we're praying for them, and hopefully they're going to do well against Roma and qualify for the final. And that's a wrap from the African players and how they did in the various league and the top 5 league abroad. And we move on now to other segment, which is African Football Fan TV highlight of the week. And the highlight of the week goes to no other person than Mohamed Salah, who was voted this week as the English Football Writer Player of the Year. He won the award above Kevin De Bruyne. Salah has won the award and is now crowned a Football Writer Player of the Year award. Congratulations, Mohamed Salah, for winning this award. You are actually making African pride and putting Africa on the global stage, and we say a big kudos to you and thank you for the magnificent job you are doing for the continent of Africa. And on the wrap, we go to the last segment of the show, which is our African Football Fan TV Player of the Week. And this week, players goes to no other person than, can you guess? Can you guess? African Football Fan TV Player of the Week goes to Naby Keita. Naby Keita, who plays for Liverpool, was on the score sheet for Liverpool this week to give them a priceless 3-point win. Naby Keita has won our African Football Fan TV Player of the Week. Congratulations, Naby Keita. And that's all we have for you guys on this week African Football Review Show. And if you find this video interesting, please click on the like button and put your suggestion, your comment on the comment below. I'll be there to answer to them all. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell to keep you up to date with content of this channel. And till I come your way again next time, I say God bless you and stay safe.